What's going on? We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella back. You know, we do more than boxing. You know, we do more than sports. You know, we dig into the entertainment, a little bit into politics, and got 2 off-topic boxing videos to end the night with. You know, should be special. The next one's probably gonna be highly controversial, but you know, some stuff that went down, and y'all see it right after I drop this video. I'll probably drop it 30 minutes after this one. We talking about, you know, Charlamagne the God. I'll see if I can find a link to the Breakfast Club and put it in the description. You know, ask Jay-Z, he said, what about people say, you know, what do you say to when excuse me. He asked him, he said, what do you say when people say you wouldn't be here if Biggie still was alive, or Biggie still was alive a little bit longer, still rapping, and you would have bubbled? And Jay-Z basically, I'm paraphrasing here, said that you weren't going to stop what I was going to be. I was destined to be what I was going to be. He said, me and that album, you know, the album me and Big was going to drop was really going to take me to the next level. And, you know, people forget, you know, people that do rank Jay-Z ahead of Nas or had them neck and neck or close to each other, people forget, you know, Biggie dropped Ready to Die, I think it was at 94. And, can't remember, I think it was 94. Nas dropped Illmatic that same year. And that was, Illmatic was consensus, you know, through the hood and everybody else, was the best rap album of that year. Illmatic is probably, it's by some people to be the greatest rap album ever. It's your opinion, you know, especially the new school kids. I don't got nothing to say to y'all guys. Y'all rap, y'all music, rap, whatever y'all want to call it. I don't even call it hip hop or rap. It's trash. But the majority of it. But yeah, I find it stupid. You know, I think Jay-Z was gonna bubble too. But Big had a different impact on him. I don't think so, because Big was already there when he was being groomed. A lot of people had understudies to people. I mean, Tupac was understudy to Digital Underground. You know, Nas had MC Search that was helping him out. You know, Big had Puff for the most part. So, you know, I do find it idiotic to say that, you know, Biggie was gonna stop Jay-Z greatness. I don't think so. I mean, sometimes you become bigger than your big brother, and it happens. You know, Kanye West for a minute was getting bigger than Jay-Z. He had some of the hottest albums out, even though he wasn't writing them. It's just a fact. You know, so sometimes, you know, you have your hot streaks, and you'd be crazy to think, you know, Jay-Z never would have came out with Reasonable Doubt, or never would have came out with The Blueprint, Hard Knock Volume 1, the Rock Dynasty, you know, certain shit. You know, he was going to come out with that. It wasn't going to be no different, you know. And it was on point where he would have been hotter than Big at some point. Yeah, believe it or not. You know, Jay-Z had has a gift, you know, and we never seen if really Pac and Big had this gift, because they never was alive long enough to really produce. It's a gift that not too many rappers have. It's the gift of longevity and versatility. LL had the gift. LL was good in the 80s. He struggled a little bit in the 90s, but caught his track and kind of had a little banger at the end with J-Lo and Your Head Sprung in the early 2000s. So he survived 3 different decades and probably several different generations of rap. And Jay-Z did as good as well. To 95, 96, to 2000s, to the mid-2000s, and to late 2000s, he's still able to make music that people can dance to and that can do their thing too. So that gift of versatility and longevity, Jay-Z got it. Jay-Z proved that a long time ago that he can go through different eras in rap and still, you know, sound good and still adjust and still make good music. Biggie and Pac really never got an opportunity to prove that, you know, and that's a special. Because as fast as rap careers come, as quick as they go, you know. But I do find it idiotic. People are always trying to find a way to really, you know, mastermind or come up with these different equations on this guy wouldn't thrive if this guy was around. I mean, if your destiny is to be great, your destiny is to make good music, and you have a fan base, that's just what it was. That was always destined to be great, you know. And I hate when people say, "Oh, Big was alive, Jay." That's stupid, man. Jay-Z was going to be Jay-Z regardless. You know, Jay-Z, one of the reasons that Jay-Z really didn't blow up like that, when people say he wasn't feeling his music, the reason why a lot of record companies wouldn't pick Jay up, because Jay and Dame Dash understood the business end of the game. You know, as far as you've seen in the Tupac movie, him begging for his money, you hear the rumors about how P. Diddy got all the Biggie royalties and not kicking back to his family. I mean, you know, you hear those different things. Excuse the thing in the background. You hear a lot of that. Jay-Z and Dame knew the bigger picture. They wanted ownership of some of their stuff. And that's something that Biggie and Pac didn't get. ownership of their royalties. Suge had, Tupac royalties with Death Row, and Diddy had all the big royalties and still cashing in off of that right now. Jay-Z wanted to own some of his own stuff, and that's why Prince gave all his masters to Jay-Z when he passed away. He said, I seen Jay-Z was the only one I ever seen beat the system. And that's true. His musical mind and his business mind was what separated from him from Pac, Big, and the rest of them, his mind. And that's why he arrived late. He didn't arrive late because Biggie and Pac was stunning his growth. Good music is good music. In the 90s, if you said he was stunning his growth, in the 90s you had a whole bunch of good rappers. You had your one-hit wonders. You had your underground guys like Daz Effect. You had Cube. You had NWA in the beginning. You had, the Wu-Tang Clan, all 1,000 of them. You had Mobb Deep. You had Lauryn Hill. You had the Fugees. You had, Pac, Big, Jay, Nas. You still had DJ Quick, MC8, early 90s. You had a lot of different rap groups, man. You had a lot of different rappers. It was, and then you still had Outkast down south. You had some southern rappers that was putting their 2 cents in that was coming up. You had the Hot Boys that came late 90s. It was a lot of competition throughout the 90s. To say that, One Roadblock and Biggie blocked Jay-Z whole shine, that's just saying like all those rappers, they blocked each other's shine. That wasn't how it was. You just didn't have 7 songs on the radio spinning all day. You had whatever you like. You like Onyx, like Mobb Deep. You like whoever, you had it all. You had a little bit of everything in the rap game, man. And did some of them kind of overshadow by today's standard? Yeah, but back to the topic of discussion, Jay was gonna be great regardless, man. His mind for words, his mind for business, his business mind. If he wasn't a rapper, he was still gonna be a successful businessman. It's just the fact of the matter. He was gonna be successful regardless without the bars, And that's the thing that Biggie and Pac didn't have. They didn't have that business mind. Didn't. When Reasonable Doubt came out, it really didn't pop until years down the line when people was like, damn, that was a dog-ass CD. It had like an aftershock to it. And Jay-Z may have been ahead of his time, and that's why they was trying to say people didn't like the way he rapped. He was ahead of his time. And you hear people today, oh, he's boring, he's this. It's not boring. You just don't understand, intellectually, you're not on his level, If you really can't see what he's saying, everything right now is about, dope, getting high, and being a fake gangster. Jay-Z was giving you food for thought. He was making you think. Same as Big. Big is one of the greatest storytellers of all time. But once again, I don't think Big was going to stop what Jay-Z was going to be. He only could have aided and helped grow and nurture what Jay-Z was going to be. Same thing with Fat Joe and Big Pun. Big Pun was a better rapper than Fat Joe. He took him under his ring to say, oh, Fat Joe wouldn't let Big Pun go because Fat Joe was already... That's ignorant. It's ignorant. Jay-Z would never stop... Biggie would never stop Jay-Z growth as an artist and as a businessman. It just wasn't going to happen. Was it better rappers, laying around in New York than Jay? Yeah. Big L was a great rapper. Great lyricist. One of the best flows you could find is just smooth as a baby's ass. Heard him kill Jay-Z in the freestyle booth. Yeah. But the way Jay-Z put songs together, the way he put deals together is what really separate him. And you got to give him his credit for this greatness that he achieved, throughout these years. In a society where he shouldn't even be rapping in the rap game right now. But, him, Fabulous, Jadakiss, Eminem, they felt the need to continue to rap to keep the culture alive because these young guys are killing the culture. But even though you see people misrepresenting Brooklyn, you never hear Jay-Z stepping on Tekashi 6ix9ine shoes or stepping on any designer shoes knowing he was a one-hit wonder. He never did. He never, made a roadblock for rappers. And the stuff that he's doing outside the rap game as far as the Khalif Browder documentary and bailing fathers out on Father Day and bailing those people out in the riots of Baltimore, how can you hate the guy? How can you hate that guy? Didn't change up his music, stuck by his morals, and became ownership of his own company and owned probably most of his masters, owns Prince Masters because he knew what to do, helping the college athletes and being their agent and showing them how to save and how to take care of money. I mean, this dude deserves a Nobel Peace Prize or whatever you say. He's definitely achieved more than what the statistics say he was supposed to achieve. And then, writing a letter, getting his cousin Emory Jones out of jail, who run a drug kingpin, telling him he had a $60,000-$70,000 job waiting for him. I mean, shit. This dude's a folk hero. He's a Robin Hood of the East Coast, man. And I think at the end of the day, Big will be super proud of what Jay-Z has done. And people say, well, he beat his records, and they said the same shit about Fat Joe. He took pulling Red Bull and shit like that. From the beginning of the time, somebody had to take something from somebody and use it theirs. I mean, every rap song you probably find a sample or something from another artist. And James Brown is probably still in what was and probably still is one of the most sampled artists of the day. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know how much sample artist he was. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think Big would be proud of Jay-Z, man. I hate people that come up with these dumbass theories saying that, oh, you wouldn't have been this big one there, or this and that. But at the end of the day, that was his destiny to be great. And in my opinion, one of the top 5 best rappers alive. I don't care. They can put Kool G Rap and all these other rappers there. Ain't nobody had the longevity that Jay-Z had in the game, or LL Cool J. And people tend to forget that, but it's the Boxing Clinic of More. Don't let the name fool you. From time to time, we do good videos like this, and I got another video coming up. You might have heard or not heard about it, but it's an interesting topic. We're going to get deep just like we did on this one. Appreciate you guys. We gone.